Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Cat's Track. We post an interview with an amazing Canadian each weekday for your daily inspiration. Today, I would like to introduce you to my dear friend, Adam Joyce. Adam was born in Hamilton, Ontario, in St. Joseph's Hospital. He's been married to his amazing wife, Lizanne, for 22 amazing roller coaster, his words, years. They have four incredible children ages 18, 20, 26, and 28. Very, very busy. In addition to his family, Adam is extremely passionate about the appreciation for others and for life. He is one of the very few people who have sent me a random handwritten card in the mail just out of the blue that reads, "Stay awesome, you're doing a great job." I am so appreciative of those and I save every one of them. Who does that? Adam Joyce does.
Thanks, Catherine.
Friend, you'll see his full bio attached. Adam, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. What a pleasure. I watch Cat's Tracks. I recommend watching them. There's always cool stuff that you unearth with other people and other great Canadians. So thanks for having me on today.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks again. May we start with the questions that I sent you earlier?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Okay. The toughest one. What has been your greatest challenge in the last few months?
A great question because it had me really dig in and think about it because it's not like there's been one great challenge. There's been a lot.
Right.
So it's like, whoa, which one do I pick? And it's along the lines of just I really, as you know, I enjoy people, and so the inability to get face to face and be organic and just be with people, be with their energy, be with their smile. This might sound weird, but be with their smell, like just that whole thing, right? Just it's a missing for me, and I'm on Zoom calls every day, like yourself. I miss people. I love talking to them. But that organics and being able to shake hands or give a hug when appropriate, or just reach out and be a part of a common table where you're dialoguing and you're reading body language and you're playing off each other and that sense of creation and just being with people. That's really been stressful. You're right, I have four great kids. I have an awesome family. They're around. We spend lots of time together, and I love that. But there's something different when you get into the business energy. When
Yeah.
you get into that business thing, you get into business creation, and you're part of a team, and you're contributing and being contributed to, and executing and thinking. And yeah, that's been the hardest thing for me.
I bet. And you are so social and you're always so authentic. Everyone knows that you're coming with pure heart in all
Mm,
your exchanges. So I
mm.
can just imagine. I know I miss you.
I miss you too. I miss you lots. We'll get that handled as soon as it slips off for sure.
I can't wait.
Me too.
And the next one, your three things.
Yeah, that was again just such provocative questions, right? You make people think.
Yeah.
You're sneaky like that. I love it. The three things that I really started to look at for myself is one, just have a sense of patience. It's
Mm,
something I've been working on. Patience for myself, patience for the process, patience for each other. Man, have you ever tried to arrange a Zoom call with more than 10 people?
yes.
Patience. Holy jeez. I had this morning, I had technical difficulties, and one of the people, how do I get my camera on? I can't get my camera on. Can you hear me? Next thing you know, they're on mute. And,
Oh,
it's just, and you just got to be patient. Like it's going to work.
yeah.
See it happening. Let's just relax and just go with the ride on this one.
Yeah.
I think that's been a great lesson for me to look at, right? Just being patient with the process. And the second one is along similar lines, and that's having some compassion.
Ah,
Having some compassion for what's going on, for other people's viewpoints,
yeah.
and I think the world could use more of that compassion, given what we're seeing all over the world, and all the different upsets that are happening, and maybe it's exacerbated because we're in lockdowns and lock-ins and having to wear masks and consuming too much news and but just having again that sense of compassion and grace for oneself, for other people, for the circumstances. Just come to the party with a little bit of compassion, and let's see what unfolds.
Ah,
And then the last one I picked up from a friend of mine who got me into this leadership course. I've been on this leadership course for a month now, and we got another month to go. We finished July 9th. And one of the facilitators, this woman, Kelly Townsend out of Florida, freaking brilliant. And she is the most curious person I've ever met.
Huh.
And just be curious. Like you ask her a question, right? You say, well, Kelly, I was kind of wondering, how does that work? And she's like, that's a really interesting question. Let's think about that for a second. What do you think? The next thing you know, you're in this dialogue with her. It's so good. So just being curious, I think, if we were a lot more curious as to how did that happen? What's that about? Why do you say that? Why do you think that? That's really interesting. Let's look at that together. I think we get a lot more accomplished. Maybe not fast, but definitely sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was super curious about to come on this call and see how this would work. So I'm having a great time. And I can hardly wait to see what's next.
Childlike curiosity. That's in many
Right?
books and many leadership courses. You're so right.
Yeah, just stay curious. Just stay curious. Yeah.
I love it. Can I go off script for a second?
For sure.
Okay, so I'm curious about your thoughts on how the globe handled this situation and perhaps around the mental health piece in particular.
That's a big question. And when you say how the globe.
Yeah. How do you think? I mean, let's just pick Calgary. I mean, the Calgarians or Albertans or Canadians that you've been corresponding with or communicating with, how do you think that has affected mental health? What's happened in the last few months?
Yeah, you're very close to that and do a lot of work in that domain. And I would want to hear what you think. I'm not just deflecting the question, but I really am curious as to what you think. And a friend of mine, Peter Comrie out of Kelowna,
Love Peter.
Right? Awesome guy.
Yeah.
And he always says to me, I'm not so much worried about the global economy as I am my own economy. And I think this is one of those circumstances where I'm not so much worried about the global mentality about this as my own. And I don't mean it from a selfish, but I mean it kind of like, if I put myself together, then I can start to support others. But if I worry too much about others, I might not have it together, kind of like in that domain. So I just kind of look at that. How's my mental health? How am I for supporting each other people? And there are definitely times where I need to be contributed to. And there's other times where I think I'm strong enough to contribute to others. And I think it's really, for me, I think Alberta Calgarians, even we had a get together up here in Airdrie on Black Lives Matters, and we've had some COVID stuff happen up here in our little town. And I think Canadians are just so, let's be a stand for something greater than ourselves, but let's not get so upset that we start to demonstrate what we don't want, if that makes sense.
It sure does.
And I'm so proud to be a Canadian and be a part of that. And so I think that for me. What about for you? What do you see?
Well, I think we have a mental health pandemic that's on us and upon us. And I think that will unfortunately, the agenda that was set a few months ago has a domino effect with what's happening. I'm sure the psychiatrists will have a better view on what's about to happen, but just from the people that I've been speaking with regard to brain and mental health and suicide and the call centers that are overwhelmed, it's on us. And I think I'm back to your second point of compassion. We're going to need a lot of that. And
Agreed.
Anybody who's strong enough to be there for others. And I sure hope we've got an army of them, because we're going to need everybody.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me go off script, Adam.
Yeah, no, that's an important topic. Really important.
Thank you. And then your last one, legacy story, good news story, anything else you want to close with?
I was thinking about that, and do you know how many people I've met on LinkedIn and on that I haven't met yet physically? I can hardly wait to meet them. Like it's wild. It's been very cool getting to know people through this medium, and now we're gonna meet up physically as the it starts to lift and make it self aware, and that is a good news story. So I don't think that we're it's not just a viewpoint like, oh, I'm just making the best out of something, or I'm not pie in the sky, or I'm not trying to be all optimistic. There's actually, if you get involved and you start getting and doing things and talking to people and find your common interests, you can still meet people online.
Yeah.
And then there's other things like, do you know Ernest Barbaric?
No.
Barbaric, awesome guy, phenomenal. Michelle Johnson, phenomenal. Michelle's in Sherwood Park. Ernest and his wife are moving to Victoria. Like, I've never knew these people before. I've had them both on my little show on Fridays, and we're looking forward to meeting each other. So I think there is good news from this. There are things happening. There are still people meeting and wanting to do stuff. And ever since I've left the convention center, I got like 5 projects on the go. I got you engaging with me here. I'm having a ton of fun. And yeah, I got a lot of faith that we're going to prevail here. Yeah.
I agree. And I think a lot of good is coming. I just think we now need to help the ones that we're not doing so good.
You've got to lend a hand for sure. I mean, it's one of those things that, when you win, I win.
That's right.
Right. It's really about you and me, not you or me.
Agreed.
So
high tides lift all boats.
There you go. Let's do it. Let's get the tide rising. I love it.
Adam Joyce, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Catherine. It's been a pleasure. Anytime. And I can hardly wait to see you and hug you.
I very much look forward to that.
Okay.
Lots of love to your family.
You as well.
Thank you, Adam.
Okay.
Everybody, that was Adam Joyce. Amazing.
Bye.
Bye. An awesome individual here in Calgary, Airdrie, and a great Albertan. We absolutely love him. Thanks so much for joining us on Cat's Track, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.